What's up guys, today we're going to be comparing the Redmi Note 8 Pro to the OnePlus 7 Pro. So these phones are really excellent, and they're very similar considering that the OnePlus 7 Pro costs a little bit more than the Note 8 Pro. But I just love using both these phones as a duo. Actually, it's like one of the ultimate duos because this is 200, this is your flagship, and it's just really awesome. So let's go ahead and get into the comparison. Now, as far as the design is, this phone is pretty hefty. As you can see, it's a thin phone, but it has a weight to it still. And you've got a quad camera setup on here, which we will get into, the flash, and I just love this pearl white color. It kind of turns pinkish, and it's just really nice looking. You've got metal railings on the side along with your power button and volume rocker. You also still keep the headphone jack, which is awesome, along with the USB Type-C and the single firing speaker. Now with the OnePlus 7 Pro, you have the same design. You have a glass back metal design on here. It's just really a pretty phone. You have a triple camera setup, little OnePlus logo. This mirror gray isn't as pretty, and it's kind of a fingerprint magnet compared to this pearl white. So I kind of prefer the design on the Note 8 Pro as far as the back of the phone goes, but when we get to the front, you'll see which phone looks better from the front at least. So you have your volume rockers right here, and then we have our power button, and we have our vibrate switch on the side. Down below we have no headphone jack, USB Type-C, and the 7 Pro has stereo speakers. So as you can see, both phones are very similar when it comes to hardware. If I didn't mention, the fingerprint scanner is right here. It is a physical one, and the OnePlus has a fingerprint scanner built into the display. Alright, so when we turn both phones on, this is where you start to see the difference. So with the Note 8 Pro, as you can see, you have bigger bezels here than the OnePlus 7 Pro. And you also have a little water drop notch display. On the OnePlus 7 Pro, you have no water drop notch because you have the pop-up camera, and you just have overall slimmer bezels. Now you do have an IPS panel on here, and it's a pretty nice panel. We'll get into some video comparisons, but it's a 6.53 inch, 395 for the PPI. It is 1080p, it is HDR, 500 nits of brightness, and it's a really nice panel for an IPS panel. Now when we get to the OnePlus 7 Pro, you have a 6.7 inch display. It's a fluid AMOLED display, 1440p, 516 for the PPI. It is HDR 10 plus, and it is 90 Hz. Now, if you follow the channel, you already know where I'm going with this. You're not going to beat this AMOLED display, especially an IPS panel. As you can see, the colors are just more accurate on the AMOLED display. It just looks overall better, especially in 1440p versus 1080p. You can definitely tell a difference. And you got that little intrusion right here, and it's just slim. Now with the 7 Pro, you're running Android 10 on top of Oxygen OS. You have the Snapdragon 855 along with the Adreno 640. No expandable storage, which sucks. I don't know why they didn't throw that in there, but you do get 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. So Oxygen OS is extremely smooth on here, especially with the 90 Hz display. It makes everything extremely smooth, very buttery smooth, and it's just really impressive to use. I mean, once you go 90 Hz, it's really hard to go back to a 60 Hz refresh. It's just not going to feel as smooth. Now on the Note 8 Pro, you have Android 9 on top of MIUI 11. This will get Android 10. You have the Media Helio G90T, which is actually a beast, and you'll see why in a minute. You have the Mali G76. You also have micro SD support up to 256 gigs. This is the 64 gigabyte base model along with 6 gigs of RAM. So as you can see, they're tied in the RAM, and you have more storage on the Note 8 Pro. So that's definitely a bonus with that. And also MIUI 11 is very smooth. I haven't really had any glitch problems or anything like that. As you can see, it's just extremely smooth, and it's a really nice experience to use. It's very customizable. That's one of the main things about MIUI 11 that I love is how customizable it is. It's just got a lot of stuff. You have the gestures on board, all that good stuff. Everything you could want, second space, all that is here on this phone. So let's go ahead and check out these speakers. So you got dual speakers on the 7 Pro, and you've got just one speaker on the 8 Pro. So as you can see, very nice, very loud, thumpy. Yeah, so the Note 8, or the 7 Pro is definitely louder, but the Note 8 Pro is not bad by any means. It's about as loud as the 7 Pro, it's just missing the fullness of the bass. Now let's get into a speed comparison. So one of the reasons why I really love this phone is because of that processor. So for 200 bucks, this is a really excellent processor. So you already know you can play games maxed out on everything on the 7 Pro, you know, the 855. But this game, you can play all the same games on high as well, which is very, very awesome. So let's go ahead and do a little speed test. 3, 2, 1. It's about the same, honestly. What else do we have on here? The Play Store. 3, 2, 1. The 7 Pro got it. Let's go ahead and try Call of Duty Mobile. 3, 2, 1. The 7 Pro is done. So you can see, not bad, but it's a tad bit slower when launching games. Alright, so let's talk about cameras. So you have a 64 megapixel wide on the Note 8 Pro, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel dedicated macro camera. You also have a 2 megapixel depth sensor. For video, it shoots in 2160p, 30 FPS, and for the front facing camera, it's a 20 megapixel wide that shoots in 1080p. Now on the OnePlus 7 Pro, you have a 48 megapixel lens, and you also have an 8 megapixel telephoto and a 16 megapixel ultra wide, and it also shoots in 2160p, 60 frames per second, and the pop-up camera is 16 megapixels but shoots in 1080p as well. Alright, so checking out some stills, you can see how close these guys are. Now I took a picture of the Funko Pop, and as you can see, the only real difference is a slight difference in color, and also the 7 or the Note 8 Pro had a problem kind of focusing here. As you can see, it kind of blurred this, you know, bottom half out a little bit. In the OnePlus, it's just a little bit more clear there. So now with the mic here, I definitely prefer the Note 8 Pros. I did a better job of the depth and just blurring everything out. The OnePlus kind of just blurred more the mic out up here, as you can see. But they both look really great. Both really nice photos. Now for outdoor photos, as you can see, they both take some really beautiful photos. Very nice. They both look like kind of wallpapers and just really beautiful. I think the Note 8 Pro is just a little sharper, especially when you zoom in to photos. It just is able to keep the sharpness, which is very, very nice. So as far as the front-facing cameras, I would definitely go with the 7 Pro. They both seem to have the same color accuracy. It's just that this takes softer images and it just loses a lot of detail with that front-facing camera. But they both are pretty good for, you know, selfies or whatever. It's just that I think the 7 Pro just takes better selfies overall. Now both these phones have NFC for mobile payments, and you also have the fingerprint scanner built into the display on the 7 Pro, which is extremely fast. It's one of the fastest you can get in any smartphone. It's pretty much instant. And with the 7 Pro, you have the kind of old school physical one on the back, which works extremely fast as well. But you know, the in-display fingerprint scanner is extremely cool, and that's one of the reasons I love it. And definitely when it works as fast as this one, it's very awesome. You also have face unlock on both these phones, and they both work very well. Now it is really cool to have that pop-up camera, as you'll see, to be able to unlock your phone. So that's always a really cool little thing to show people. But you know, like I said, they both work great. So the battery situation is pretty interesting. So you have a 4,000 milliamp battery on the 7 Pro with 30-watt warp charge. So this phone usually gets me a day and a half of battery life. But on the Note 8 Pro, you have a 4,500 milliamp battery with 18-watt fast charging. So it's not going to charge as fast as the 7 Pro, but this phone will last you up to 2 days if you're a light user like me. So this is a really good battery phone. Excellent. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.